Dear students, in this video I'm going to explain you. I'm going to continue with Act 4 Scene 1. We have already done till page 122 of your textbook and I'm going to start with page number 123. So we had read in the earlier video, I had explained you that Portia tells Shylock to call a doctor or surgeon in the court in case on his own expenses to stop the bleeding of Antonio, otherwise he'll bleed to death. To this Shylock says, is it so nominated in the bond? He's saying, is it mentioned in the bond or the agreement? Portia, it is not so expressed, but what of that? He's saying, no, it's not mentioned in the bond, but does that really matter? It were good you do so much for charity. He's saying, it is a good thing if you do it for charity's sake. Otherwise, Antonio will bleed to death. Any person whose pound of flesh is cut from near his heart, obviously he'll bleed excessively and he could die. So he's saying, just out of charity, even if it's not mentioned in the bond, out of charity you should call a surgeon or doctor so that Antonio doesn't die. Shylock, I cannot find it. It's not in the bond. So he might be going through the pages of the bond. So, no, it's not there in the mentioned in the bond. So I won't call a surgeon. So Portia, come merchant, have you anything to say? Now he's calling Antonio and he's asking him if he has anything to say. Now Antonio says that I have very little to say, but little. He says, I have very little to say. I am armed and well prepared. So as if he has surrendered to his fate. He says, I'm ready and I'm fully prepared for my death. Give me your hand, Bassanio. So he asks for hand of Bassanio, fare you well, and he bids him farewell. Grieve not. He says, you shouldn't be sad. You shouldn't feel sad that I am fallen to this for you. He says, you should not feel sad thinking that I am fallen a victim to this misfortune because of you. He says, you shouldn't feel that whatever is happening to me, you are responsible for that. You shouldn't be sad about that. For herein fortune shows herself more kind than is her custom. He says, in fact, fortune is for this reason that he is dying. He says, for this reason, fortune has shown herself to be more kind than her normal practice. So fortune is being personified here. And he says that in fact, he is not unfortunate, but he is fortunate enough. In fact, he says fortune has been kind to him than his usual practice. So fortune has because fortune is personified here, and according to practice of fortune, it is very cruel to people otherwise. People, what he wants to say here is that people who have lost everything in terms of wealth. So see, Antonio has lost everything. So what does fortune do according to her custom to the people who have lost everything, who have lost all their wealth? The fortune make them live a longer life, and fortune make them suffer throughout their life. They make them fortune makes such people suffer poverty and misery throughout their life. He says, in this case, I am fortunate enough. Fortune is being more kind to me than her usual practice. It is still her use to let the wretched man outlive his wealth. He's saying that fortune, according to her custom, allow the unfortunate men to remain alive even after they have lost all their wealth. So see, you can write the meaning of this here, to let the wretched man live. See, wretched man here means unhappy or poor. So, according to the custom of fortune, it lets the poor or unhappy man live a long life. Outlive here means live a long life. Outlive his death means even after his death, even after his wealth is lost, such people live a long life. So that is the custom of fortune. That is how fortune treats people who are unhappy. It let them live a long life. To view with hollow eyes and wrinkled brow an age of poverty. Let them live. Fortune let such people who are unhappy and poor, it let them live a long life so as they can spend a life full of poverty as they get old, as they have wrinkled forehead and sunken eyes. So they live a lifelong. They will live a long life full of poverty and misery. This is how fortune treats them. So, according to Antonio, he has lost everything. He has lost all his wealth. So, if he had lived a longer life, he would have lived his life in misery and poverty. So, he's saying in that case, fortune is kind enough because he'll die soon and all his miseries and all his pains that he would have suffered because of poverty would end. He wouldn't see any life of misery and poverty. So, he's saying in that case, fortune has been kind enough to him. From which lingering penance of such misery that she cut me off. Lingering penance means prolonged suffering. So he's saying she here means fortune. So he's saying that fortune has spared me from suffering such a prolonged, poverty or life of misery. So he has been saved by fortune, that he won't suffer such a life of misery, and he will die soon, and he's happy for that. Then he says, commend me to your honorable wife. He says that you should pay my greetings to your honorable wife. Tell her the process of Antonio's death, Antonio's end. He says you should also tell her that how Antonio had died. So he is now telling Bassanio to talk about him to Portia and tell him how his friend has died. Say how I loved you, speak me fair in death. He says you should also tell her that how much I have loved you. And then when the tale is told, bid her to judge whether Bassanio had not once a love. She says, when you have told the whole story of our friendship and how I died, so then let her judge whether Bassanio had once a friend or not, once a friend who loved him dearly or not. Repent not you that you shall lose your friend. He says you shouldn't regret that you have lost a friend. And he repents not that pays your death. He here is Antonio himself. He says, even I am not regretting that I am paying your debt. For if the Jew do cut deep, but deep enough, I'll pay it instantly with all my heart. He says that even I am not regretting for paying all your debts. He says that if the Jew makes a cut deep enough, I'll immediately pay all the debts with all my heart. So once he made a cut, so all the debts that, all the liabilities that Bassanio has or Antonio has will be paid off as per the bond. Bassanio, Antonio, I'm married to a wife. On hearing this, Bassanio says that I'm married to a wife which is as dear to me as life itself. He says, I'm married to a wife who's dear to me as my own life. But life itself, my wife, and all the world are not with me esteemed above thy life. He says that I'm married to a wife who is my life, who is equivalent to my life. But he says, I'm ready to sacrifice my life, and the whole world that is of a greater value than that is not. He says, I am not considering all these things, though his wife, he says, my wife is very dear to me and is almost my life. But he says that all these things, his life, his wife, and the entire world, are not considered by me of a greater value than your life. So his life of Antonio is above all these things he is mentioned here. I would lose all, sacrifice them all, here to this devil to deliver you. He says, I'm ready to lose all of them. I'm ready to lose my life. I'm ready to lose my wife. I'm ready to lose everything that I owned in this world. To this devil here means to Shylock. To deliver you means to save you. He says, I'm ready to sacrifice everything that I love the most. But he says all the things that I love, his life, his wife, and everything he owes in this world is not considered of a greater value than his life, than Antonio's life. He says, therefore, I am ready to sacrifice everything to save you from this devil. Portia, Your wife would give you little thanks for that if she were by to hear you make that offer. He says, if your wife would hear you making such an offer, then she wouldn't be thankful to you for that. If she is present here and she hears you making such an offer, then she would definitely not be thankful for what you are saying. Grishanyu. Now, Grishanyu is also not. No, whenever Bassanio says something in regards to his wife, Grishanyu always speaks. So he says, Grishanyu, I have a wife. He says, I also have a wife, whom I protest. He says, whom I protest here means whom I swear I love. He says, I swear that I have a wife and I love her. I would, he says, I wish she were in heaven so she could entreat some power to change this cursed Jew. He says, I wish she was dead and in heaven so that she could plead, or she could request some heavenly powers to change the cruel Jew. See how Grishani is talking. He could have said that I wish I could die and I could go to heaven and request the heavenly bodies, heavenly angels or heavenly God there to request them, and I would request them to change this cursed Jew, this cruel Jew, change the mind of this cruel Jew so that he doesn't cut a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. But he says that I wish my wife is dead. She goes to heaven and she would request some heavenly powers there to change the cruel Jew so that he doesn't cut a pound of flesh from Antonio's body, and thus he's saved. Nerissa, on hearing this, says, it is well you offer it behind her back. It's good that you're making this offer when your wife is not present. You're making this offer at her back. The wish would make else an unquiet house. Otherwise, he says, your wish would have disrupted the peace of your house. So you would have because your wife would definitely quarrel with you, that why are you making why are you, asking for such a wish that your wife should die? So obviously a wife will fight with her husband for asking for such a wish. It's better that you're you're making this offer behind her back in her absence. Otherwise, you would have your house wouldn't be peaceful. Shylock. These be Christian husbands. He says, look at them. Such are Christian husbands. I have a daughter. Would any of the stock of Barabbas had been her husband rather than a Christian? So Barabbas are criminals. He says that he wishes that he is married to any of the criminal than marrying a Christian husband. So because the two Christian husbands who are there in the court, they are giving such examples. One is wishing that her wife should be dead. Other is wishing that I am ready to sacrifice my wife for Antonio, and I am ready to give my wife to Shylock so that he saves. Antonio is saved. So both of them are ready to part with their wives. Say such are Christian husbands. Because Jessica has also married a Christian, no? It says, I wish that my daughter would have married a criminal instead of marrying a Christian. Then he talks aside, with trifle time, I pray thee, pursue sentence. He says, I request the court. He's saying that they should go on with the statement. In fact, they are wasting time by talking so much. So he says, I request that they should make pass a judgment. The court should pass a judgment. So what does he say here? I'm repeating again. So Shylock is saying that, see, look at these Christian husbands, how they treat their wife. That is what he means. He says, I have a daughter and I wish she had married to one in the family of Barabbas, that is criminal, a notorious criminal, rather than a Christian. Then he talks aloud. Then he talks saying that we are wasting time. I request you to pronounce the sentence. He says, request the court to give the judgment. Porcion hearing this says, a pound of some merchant's flesh is thine. He says, a pound of merchant flesh is yours. The court awards it and the law doth give it. He says the court gives you full permission to take a pound of flesh from Antonio's body, and you can take your forfeiture. Then Shylock again praises him, saying, most rightful judge, that you are the most rightful judge, he says. Moving on to next page. Portia, and you must cut this flesh from off his breast. He says you should cut his flesh from his chest. That and the law allows it, and the code awards it. And he says the law allows you to cut flesh from near his heart, and the court gives you full permission for doing that. Shylock, most learned judge, a sentence come prepare. So he's saying that it's a good sentence. So the court, the judge has passed a judgment, and he's saying that you are a very learned judge. So he's asking Antonio to come prepared. Now Portia will turn the tables. She will make him realize the loopholes in the bond. See, here whenever I teach this scene to students, I always tell them to analyze. See, Portia was already aware of the loopholes in the bond. She was already aware, no, that a drop of blood shouldn't be fall from while he cuts upon the flesh, because that is not mentioned. Then the weight of the flesh should be exactly a pound, not more, neither more nor less. So she was already aware about all this. So why do you think she has lingered on so much? She has asked Shylock, to have mercy. So then so many offers are being made that he can take twice the money, thrice the money, and everything. He says, Bassanio so many times say that I am ready to give everything to save Antonio's life. So why do you think Portia has not given this, or not told this initially, only in the beginning, only when she entered the court? She would have said, no, that these are the loopholes, and Shylock, if he wants to cut a pound of flesh, this is how he can cut without dropping a jot of blood. And the pound of flesh should be exactly equal to pound of flesh, not more, neither less. So this should be told initially only. Why has she lingered on? See, Portia is actually very intelligent, and she's actually very wise. So Portia had, made him, and this Shylock was all the time very, stick to his bond, to terms and conditions that were mentioned. Portia also mentioned about a surgeon, and he made him say that it's nowhere mentioned in the bond. Right? Portia also made him disagree to all the offers that were being made. Principal amount, no. 3 times the sum, no. He even said at a place that even if 6,000, every pound in 3,000 ducat is is cut into 6 pieces, and every 6 pieces in a ducat is 3 is a ducat, then also I'm not ready. It means he's not even ready to take 10 times over the sum. He says, oath is a oath, and I've sworn that I'll take only a pound of flesh. So Portia very cleverly makes Shylock disagree to every offer. And now she's turning the table, and now she's disclosing the loopholes in the bond. He says, when Shylock is about to cut a pound of flesh from Antonio's body, she says, tarry a little. Tarry means wait. He says, wait a little. There is something else. He says, there's something else. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood. He says, this bond does not permit you to shed even a smallest drop of blood. The words expressly are upon the flesh. She exactly quotes what is mentioned in the bond. He says, the words expressly are upon the flesh. Then take thy bond, take thou thy pound of flesh. He said, all right. You were, from so long, you were demanding for that, no? All right, take a pound of flesh, but not a single drop of blood should shed. But in the cutting it, if thou dost shed 1 drop of Christian blood, thy lands, thy goods are by the law of Venice confiscate unto the state of Venice. He says, even if you drop even if a drop of blood is shed from this Christian blood, then by laws of Venice, all your lands and your property will be confiscated by the state of Venice. All your land and property will be taken away by the state of Venice, because according to the rule, according to the law, if any person harms the citizen of Venice, then a court can pass this judgment. Now Grishanio is quoting what Shylock said earlier. O upright judge, mark Jew, is saying, listen, the Jew, he's actually a learned and upright judge. O learned judge. Shylock, is that the law? So you can very well imagine what might be the condition of Shylock now. So he's asking, is it the law? I mean, is it if one drop of blood, even a drop of blood is shed from Antonio's body, then all my goods will be confiscated by the state of Venice? Portia, thyself shalt see the act. He says, you can yourself see the act. For as thou urgest justice, be assured that thou shalt have justice more than thou desirest. He says, you were demanding for strict justice, no? You will receive justice more than you desire now. So now Grishanio again is smoking at Shylock, saying, oh learned judge, mark you a learned judge. He says, listen carefully, she's actually a learned judge. Shylock, I take this offer then. Pay the bond thrice and let the Christian go. He says, all right. You offered me earlier, no? I am ready to accept the earlier offer. Pay 3 times the amount of the debt and let the Christian be free. So now he's ready to accept a pound of 3 times the principal amount, 3 times 3,000 ducats, and he says, I'll let Antonio go. I'm not going to cut a pound of flesh. Bassanio, here's the money. So Bassanio, he gives him, he says, all right, take the money. So Portia says, stop, soft means stop. The Jew shall have all justice. He says, no, why are you paying him by money? Let him have his justice. No, let him have a pound of flesh. Soft means stop, no haste. He says, don't hurry. He shall have nothing but the penalty. So she's again saying what Shylock had said earlier. She says, no, he should have nothing but his penalty. Grishanio, O Jew, an upright judge, a learned judge. So every time this Portia speaks in favor of Antonio, Grishanio is going to say this. Portia, therefore prepare thee to cut off the flesh. He says, you prepare. He talks to Shylock now. He says, you should prepare yourself and cut a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. Shed thou no blood. He says, not even a single drop of blood should be shed. Nor cut thou less nor more. See, one loophole, this is another loophole. So there are 2 loopholes in the bond. That shed no blood, and be careful to cut neither more nor less than an exact pound. So exactly a pound of flesh should be cut, but just a pound of flesh. So neither more nor less than that. So it's not possible, no, practically, to cut exactly a pound of flesh. If thou cutst more or less than a just pound, be it but so much as makes it light or heavy in the substance or the division or the 20th part of the poor scruple, nay, if the scale do turn, but in the estimate of a hair, thou diest, and thy goods are confiscate. So Portia very clearly tells him that if you take more or less than a pound, whether it is light or heavy in weight, makes it light or heavy in weight, and in the substance or the division of the 20th part. So he's saying that even if more or less than the 20th in excess or less than a scruple is very small unit of weight, equivalent to 20 grains. So he's saying that even if a minor, there is a variation in the weight, it should be exactly a pound of flesh, neither more nor less. So, or she says, if the scale do not turn, nay, if the scale do turn. So if the scale do turn here means that if the scale differ, but in the estimation of a hair, he says, even if they differ by a hair breadth from the exact weight, thou diest. He says, you must have death penalty. If there is even a slight variation in the weighing machine, even if the scale, differs by the hair's breadth from the exact weight, that is a pound of flesh, then you will suffer a death penalty, and thy goods are confiscated, and all your possessions will be confiscated by the court, by the state of Venice. So this is how Portia has trapped Shylock, neither more nor less. Exactly a pound of flesh, and not a single drop of blood should be shed. So it's not practically possible. So now Shylock cannot, he's left with nothing. Britannia, a second Daniel, a Daniel Jew. So he's making him remind his own words, saying, "See, listen, Jew, she's actually a Daniel. Now, infidel, I have thee on the hip." So he's saying, so now he's calling him infidel, that is a non-believer, the one who doesn't believe in Christianity. He's saying, now I have caught him by his hip. Now I have I have trapped him. This is how I'll take revenge. This is how he's been trapped now, he means. Portia, why doth the Jew pause? Take thy forfeiture. He says, why have you stopped now? Take your forfeiture. Shylock, give me my principal and let me go. Shylock is now poor thing. He's saying, all right, give me my principal amount only. Give me 3,000 ducats and let me go. I want to go. Bassanio, I have it ready for thee. Here it is. So Bassanio says, I have the principal amount ready. Take it. Portia, he had refused it in the open court. No, how can he take it now? He refused it initially, no, in front of the court, that I'm not going to take a pound of flesh. I just want the forfeiture and a pound of flesh from Antonius' body. So Portia means that now you go and take a pound of flesh from Antonius' body. Why are you accepting what he had refused earlier? He shall have merely justice as it bond. Again, she's quoting what Shylock had said earlier. He's saying he should have just his justice and his bond. That is a pound of flesh, nothing else. Now again, Grishanio, he's no, you can very well imagine the condition of Shylock now, no, how he might be feeling when everything is happening in front of him. Grishanio, oh Daniel, still say, a second Daniel, I thank thee, Jew, for teaching me the word. I thank thee, Jew, for teaching. He says, I thank you so much, Shylock, for supplying me with such an appropriate word to describe this the lawyer, to describe this judge. That is Portia disguised as a lawyer. Says she's actually a Daniel. She's actually a learned judge who's actually giving a statement that is lawfully correct. So you should take just a pound of flesh and nothing else. So I will stop here. I have completed the scene till page 126. I will continue the rest in next video. So in case you have any doubts, do let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much.